Good evening, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people. Today is July 2nd, 2020, and I want to talk to you about the coming storm. The coming storm. No one knows what is going to happen over the next coming months, but we have an election that is supposed to happen on November 3rd, 2020. Many people wonder if this is actually going to even take place, how it's going to happen, what is going on in the world with coronavirus. But we have something planned on November 3rd, 2020, a presidential election. Will Trump be reelected, or will he be taken out of office? Will he lose the election? What is going to happen? But I want to share a few details with you about the timing of the election on November 3rd. If we look at the Hebrew calendar, November 3rd in the United States is November 4th in Israel, and November 4th on the Hebrew calendar is Chesvan 17, and according to many scholars or many reports, the flood began on Chesvan 17, the 17th day of the second month in the time of Noah. Okay, there's still debate whether it actually happened in the month of Chesvan or if it happened in the month of Iyar, the second month of the spring, or was it the second month of the fall. But this is what is reported in this in this publication, Chodesh Chesvan, a month of bitterness and challenge. He made the moon to mark the seasons. The month of Chesvan, on the biblical calendar, the month of Chesvan immediately follows the holiday month of Tishri, though it is sometimes called Mar Chesvan, Mar meaning bitter, bitter Chesvan, because there are no festivals during the month, neither feast nor fast, and it marks the start of the cold and rainy season in Israel. The Torah records that God brought down the flood that destroyed the world on Chesvan 17. It actually says on the 17th day of the second month, which lasted until the 27th day of the second month, according to this report, which was Chesvan 27, one calendar year after it began. And because Noah's flood began and ended during this month, Chesvan is generally regarded as Mar, being a time of judgment, and hardship, a month of bitterness and challenge. So we have the election set for November 3rd, which in Israel is November 4th, the day the flood began, and this is known as a month of bitterness and challenge, a time of judgment and hardship. And we know that Donald Trump is connected to a coming storm. He has shared on many occasions, especially on that one occasion in the White House, and then from there it was talked about for many months afterwards, and that is the phrase that is connected to Donald Trump. A storm is coming, and at one point he said, "I am the storm." Okay. So the flood began on Chesvan 17, and it rained for 40 days. 40 days from the election brings us to December 14th, 2020. December 14th, 2020. And this is the most amazing day because between the two great American eclipses, if you go the number of days from August 21st, 2017 to April 8th, 2024, it's 2,422 days, and the exact middle of these two eclipses is December 14th, 2020. X marks the spot. And this looks like this. The first eclipse was Elul 1. That was also a 40-day warning to the Day of Atonement, from the first day of the 6th month to the 10th day of the 7th month, a 40-day warning. And then we have a 40-day warning before midweek Hanukkah on December 14th, which is from the day of the election. So I would think that there may be drastic changes coming to the United States. Obviously, there have already been drastic changes that have come to the United States, but what will be shown at the election? What is going to happen that is going to be a final wake-up call? I mean, could you imagine if Joe Biden ends up getting in and Michelle Obama being his running mate? And then we have the Obamas back running the White House again, okay? I mean, there's a lot of scenarios that could take place. We don't want to speculate about that, but that's been discussed, the possibility of Michelle Obama being Joe Biden's running mate, and that she could be the key to the ticket of him getting in, because by himself there's not a lot of value within Joe Biden, and such a pervert and a pedophile and just all kinds of bad stuff around Joe Biden. But Michelle Obama, it has been said that she would be the key to a Democratic victory if he were to pick Michelle Obama. Well, anyway, so we have a 40-day connection from the first eclipse, and then we have a 40-day connection to the second eclipse, and this is midweek Hanukkah. Hanukkah represents the time of the virgins and the oil in the lamps, the midnight hour, the coming of the bridegroom. And April 8th, the final eclipse is Nisan 1. Nisan 1, the new year. And so it's very interesting how all of these, all three dates in question are total solar eclipses. Okay, it's not just the two, but the middle date is also another total solar eclipse. Okay, on December 14th is a total solar eclipse over Argentina. And this brings us to December 14th, a solar eclipse, and the Geminid meteor shower, and that is also connected to the Jupiter-Saturn Great Conjunction on December 21st. The twins, Jupiter and Saturn, the man-child and the one that devours the children, represented by Saturn, Hanukkah and the winter solstice, the escape, and the rise of the Antichrist. And all of this is just as is written in Matthew 24:29 through 31, that after the tribulation of those days, okay, remember, it does not say after the great tribulation. It says after the tribulation. Okay, what comes after the tribulation? Great tribulation comes after the tribulation, because Jesus used the term great tribulation in verse 21. But in verse 29, he does not say again after the great tribulation. He says after the tribulation of those days. The sun shall be darkened. The moon shall not give its light. The stars of the heavens shall fall, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And we have this connection to this total solar eclipse, which is also a dark moon, the sun and the moon not giving their light. This also would entail 3 days of darkness. A dark moon actually takes place during a 3-day window where the moon does not give its light. So we have a 3-day window of darkness in the evenings. And then we have the stars of the heavens falling, and we have the powers of the heavens shaken. The great conjunction, Jupiter and Saturn, Hanukkah and the winter solstice, the escape and the rise of the Antichrist. All of this is connected by 40 days from the election, which is also the day the flood began. Okay, so there's a lot of things we need to consider, a lot of things we need to watch for, a lot of things we need to prepare for, and there's a lot of people that are still talking about rapture in July, and whether it's this week in July or the end of July. I have not been seeing any connections to rapture in July because the time of Pentecost is past. Pentecost was the beginning of the month of June. Okay, and I do not espouse to a 100-day Pentecost count. Pentecost is the number 50, means 50. It's the Sabbath after the seventh. It's the day after the seventh Sabbath. Count 49 days, and then the next day is Pentecost. It's the 50th day. So we are at a time right now where we need to buckle down, we need to prepare, we need to understand that hard times have already come, but they're going to be coming at a much swifter pace, much deeper. A lot of hard times are coming, and how long will we be here? We need to prepare. So the election could be a very decisive moment in our nation, right? And it's also, I think, what could end up being a final wake-up call. I mean, if the Obamas end up back in the White House on the day the flood began, I mean, that's an amazing sign of destruction coming 40 days, like final warning, 40 days, and Nineveh will be destroyed. So these are just some thoughts I wanted to share with you guys. I pray you guys are all blessed tonight. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.